there and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Angie and I'm a chemist who loves makeup. So today we're going to be talking about a few cosmetic industry news stories. The common denominator of all these stories is either it's related to ways to make cosmetics more vegan friendly or cruelty-free related. Yes, I am in a different outfit, and that is because I'm here to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with a ton of classes to help learn new skills, develop your passion, and get lost in your creativity. It's amazing to me how many classes they actually have, including things like embroidery and yoga. This month I took a class called Phone Photography, Editing Your Photos with Adobe Lightroom Mobile. I wanted to take this class because I'm always trying to improve my pictures, especially of my cat Lemmy. This class gave me so many tips how to take better pictures initially and how to edit those photos using only my phone. So now Lemmy will look even more handsome than he already is. It was developed specifically to cater to learning. So there's always new classes, there's no ads, so you can focus on learning and see where your creativity leads you. Skillshare offers membership with meaning, with real projects to create, and the support of the people in the community. Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. And the first 1,000 of my subscribers to use the link down below will get a 1-month free trial to Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity today. And with that, let us get back into those news stories. The first story we're going to talk about is Mexico banning animal testing on cosmetics. By banning animal testing, this means that it meets the definition for cruelty-free. Cruelty-free does not mean vegan. It simply means that the raw materials and the finished good have not been tested on animals. Some key points about Mexico banning this testing is that it was the first North American country to do so. And it is the 41st country globally to ban animal testing on cosmetic products. So from what I have gathered, this not only means that testing of the products on animals within Mexico is banned, but it also bans the manufacture, import, and marketing of products that have been tested on animals in any part of the world. From this statement to me, this means that if it had to go through testing in China, that it could not then be sold in Mexico. And recently, China has loosened their animal testing policies. Again, I will link a video up above where I talked about this previously. And China is the only country that I am familiar with that has requirements at all to do any kind of animal testing on cosmetics. So from these short articles that I have found from cosmetic industry news, I do not know the full ins and outs of the law, and even if I could find it, the technical terms in this document would probably get lost on me because the basis that I have in Spanish is very conversational. So that being said, while I think this is a great step towards making all cosmetics free of animal testing, there are usually a lot of loopholes that can be found within these kind of laws. For instance, one loophole that I have seen, I believe this is in the EU, is if the ingredient is used for pharmaceutical purposes, it can be tested on animals and that would still be covered under the cruelty-free umbrella. It might be cynical to look at it this way, but I like to know if there are loopholes like this that exist. There is definitely a big push to move away from animal testing, not only for ethical reasons, but also because it doesn't always give an accurate depiction of how it would affect the health of humans. And there are actually a lot of bigger cosmetic companies that are looking for alternative testing methods to accurately assure human safety. The next story is related to Carmine. So for background, if you're not familiar, Carmine is a red colorant that is derived from a very specific type of beetle. It is one of the few animal product-based ingredients that isn't a byproduct of the food industry or another industry. And the reason why this colorant is still so prevalent in cosmetics is because of FDA regulations regarding colorants. In the US, the FDA heavily regulates colorants that go into cosmetics. There are specific quality standards they have to meet for impurities. Some have to be certified by each batch. They have to be tested for contaminants. Some can only be made synthetically. And one requirement the FDA has is what products certain colorants are allowed in. For instance, carbon black, you can use an eyeliner, but you can't use it in any lip-based products. In the case of Carmine, it has been determined to be safe for use on the eyes, as well as FD&C red 40. There are other red colorants, but they have been shown to cause eye irritation. So the FDA has banned them for use in eyeshadows. They're only intended for products like blush, lipsticks, nothing used around the eye. So if you want vegan eyeshadows that you can legally call an eyeshadow, not as like a pressed pigment, that's a different issue. It'll probably not be red or orange or purple or not very vibrant versions of these. There was a study that was recently shared by the Journal of the American Chemist Society, ACS is short. Carminic acid, aka Carmine, was able to be produced by E. coli, which is the bacteria. This occurred through the fermentation process of a very specific strain of the E. coli bacteria. So this kind of technology is really fascinating to me, and I hope to see more of it implemented, because not only can we create ingredients like this, which are now vegan, but also it's more environmentally friendly overall. You can create this in smaller spaces because you're just taking bacteria and feeding it, going through the fermentation process to create this end result. So you can pretty much make it in any location. You don't have to grow something for months on end. You don't have to harvest it, transport it from different areas. And in this case, you don't have to farm these insects. There's also a multi-step processing process when you're using beetles to produce carmine, so you would eliminate that step altogether. So if there is potential for this to be allowed to be incorporated into cosmetics, I think this is a really great way to make vegan eyeshadows more accessible and ensure that they are truly eye safe. The last story we're gonna talk about is related to the behind the scenes testing of your cosmetics. It's very important that microbial testing be performed on your cosmetics. There are a few that you can get away with not doing it, but for the most part, you should just do it. It's very important because microbial contamination is probably the #1 reason that products get recalled. This contamination can make you sick, lead to infection, skin issues, a lot of problems. It's really important to make sure there's not microbial contamination in your product and that the preservatives will prevent this microbial growth. The growth medium typically used in this kind of testing is traditionally from animal byproducts, specifically bovine, I believe. So even if your product is labeled as vegan, which most cosmetic ingredient products are probably vegan, it's very unlikely that any of your testing is. It was almost guaranteed that there are animal-based products using the microbial testing of your cosmetic. So you have to perform this kind of testing, such as PET testing, in which the preservative system is challenged to make sure no growth will occur over time. And you have to ensure whatever growth medium you're using in your microbial testing is capable of growing something over time. Otherwise, your test results are meaningless. So there is a company called VeganSure, which has developed a suitable alternative to this traditional medium use. This is derived from papaya, soya beans, potato sugar, cornmeal, and plant peptones. And recently, The Body Shop has partnered with VeganSure to implement this testing into their own products. So I think this is a very exciting innovation, and I think this would be a really good thing to have for companies who are particularly trying to promote their products as vegan. I would be really curious to actually look to see if one has a lower environmental impact than the other. But again, that's me being cynical. I need to look further into it. So I would love to know what you think of these stories down below. Is there anything here that you're really excited about? Is there any other stories that maybe I didn't know about that you would like to share with me? And let me know if you learned something today. And if you like this type of video, don't forget to click the like button and as well as click the subscribe button so you can learn more about the science behind your makeup and skincare. And with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye!